What's up, everybody? I hope everyone is having a great evening. We have another special episode of Miami Hurricanes After Dark. We got my co-host all the way from the salmon capital of the world, Fresh Northwest. We got Caleb. We got Anthony. Last but not least, man, we got 247 Canes. Man, what a performance on the road in Louisville. In a stadium where we haven't won in a very long time. I personally can't recall the last time we won a football game because we've lost the last two appearances. So, big win. Ross, first thoughts on the game?
Man, how nice was it, like you mentioned already, to go and get a win on the road against a known opponent? Louisville, it's not like, they're on the level of Clemson or anything, but, their opponent we've had troubles with before, not last year, but previously, and especially, like you said, on the road. Finally putting things together for once. We saw a little bit more of the offense. Lashley changed some things around. We opened it up a little more. I loved what I saw. We've got some things that we can clean up, of course. That score could have been even more, but I'm not going to get too worried about it quite yet. It's early, but a couple things we can clean up. Caleb, man, what did you see from this game? Actually, we'll start off on the offense here. What did you see on the offensive side of that game that you really liked?
It's pretty easy for me. When was the last time that we scored two touchdowns in, I think it was less than 25 seconds on back-to-back possessions? And not only two touchdowns, like 75-yard plays back-to-back. Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't remember the last time the offense has done that. So that felt amazing to see. I'm going to say it already. We got two definite running backs that are going to be top 2-round picks. I think Cam Harris is on a mission this season. I definitely do not expect him to come back next year because he's been balling out so far, and I expect him to keep up his level of performance. I think Jalen Knighton, I think his play speaks for itself. Thank God we were able to flip him from Florida State because I would not have wanted to deal with that. That would have been Dalvin Cook 2.0. So definitely, I can't really complain much about the offense. We, like you mentioned, we could have easily dropped 60 points on them. But, hey, when was the last time that, we felt this good about a Miami offense? It's been a while. So yeah. I definitely think that offensively, we're only going to get better week by week. Defensively, I think there are definitely some problems that, it reared its ugly head a little bit. But, I can't complain that much because for the most part, we shut them out in the first half. Tutu Atwell, I feel like we only heard him make plays in garbage time. So I'm not really too angry about it. But what I will say is that can we please stop doing safety blitzes all the time? Like, Baker, I don't understand. Like, we're leaving Bubba on Tutu Atwell. Like, come on, man. That's not going to work. Like, I understand the corners, you think the corners ain't going to be able to check them. But if I don't know if it's just me, but I didn't hear his name called in the first half. So I feel like we should have just kept doing what we were doing. We mixed it up a little bit too much for my liking in the second half. But, I think that we could definitely improve on that. But we'll see what happens, honestly.
Right on, man. What did you think? What did you think their 24/7 Canes? What did you see that you liked?
I'm going to just say things because everybody touched up on the offense. I'm going to speak about two things. I love the fact that we don't have to worry about extra points anymore. My God, it's so easy to overlook a kicker these days, but I am so happy with Jose Borregales. Man, that kid has an NFL leg, accounted for 12 points, if I'm not mistaken. That's such an important position and such an important part of the game when you're facing these Clemsons, these teams like Florida State. Whenever you play a big opponent, regardless of how bad they're playing, anything could go because they have talent on the other side. So it's nice to see us be able to kick those 50-yarders, those 40s, even an extra point, man. I don't overlook that. So I'm very satisfied on that end. I'll pick it back up everybody, the offense. But let me talk a little bit about our defense. Sure, we gave up 500 yards. People are going to see that. But come on, man. We saw the turnover chain. We limited this explosive offense of Louisville, which has so many playmakers and so many things, that could just go out and make explosive plays, 2 and 3 plays, and we limited that. We had some guys come in on rotations. We had a scare with Jalen Phillips on his knee. So I think overall our defense played pretty good. Obviously, there's things that we could improve on. But overall, I mean, we did a really good job on Louisville, limiting their playmakers and their explosive plays. So I'm just general thoughts. I'm very satisfied as a Hurricane fan. I could sleep at night. Our offense finally won a game for us.
I hear you, man. I hear you. One thing that I'm noticing right away, too, with this conversation is, and they often say, if you don't talk about the offensive line, they usually played a little better. So no one's brought up the offensive line quite yet. Anthony, what do you see with the offensive line? Do you think that they're improving?
Well, personally, after seeing yesterday, it looked a lot better than last year. Yeah, sure, we gave up, 2 sacks, if I'm not mistaken. But compare this. Let's look at this offensive line. Look at the turnaround we had from last year to this year. Look at all the time Derek King had so much time to throw the ball to Knighton, to Jordan, to Mallory, to all of our guys. Look at the beautiful time they had. Yes, rushing-wise, I think we could have done much better, given the fact that I don't think that defensive line was just as good as the UA. I think UAB defensive line was much better. We had a lot of holes were collapsed. I think we could have made better improvements in the rushing game. But overall, I'm happy with the performance from the offensive line. Obviously, there's a lot more improvements I think we got to improve on, especially our rushing game. I think this week our rushing game was very low, and when we're trying to get in the hole. But other than that, they broke out good plays, passing plays. Cam Harris, a nice rushing play on the side. I'm happy with our offensive line. We gave our quarterback time, and I always tell people, your quarterback is just as good as your offensive line. Without that O-line, you have no offense. If you don't have an O-line, your offense is done. There's no way they're gonna make plays. Your O-line is the key to the offense to make success, and our offensive line did what they did last night.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought they definitely played better as a unit. I mean, there was some individual play. Scaife had some moments that weren't exactly shining, but I mean, as a unit, as a whole, we're doing better. And having this system where we've got Lashley wanting to get the ball out quicker, having a dual threat quarterback, my hope is that will keep the offense from having to do too much, or the offensive line from having to overdo it too much. But even though there was times where we saw King drop back a little bit, he actually got a little bit of time when he dropped back a couple times. And that was something that we just didn't freaking see last year, especially multiple times in a game usually. And I was happy about that. I just wanted to give props to Garen Justice and Lashley for committing to the run game and sticking to it and getting it going for us, because it's that big of a deal. Paul, what did you see what did you see from all this, man?
No, I mean, I think it was 3 times where Miami had to answer in the second half because Louisville, they closed the margin to 1 touchdown, and Miami answered every single time. I thought Brett Lashley called it a great game. The design plays he had on offense, he realized, hey, it's a empty backfield. There's no safeties out there. He drew up plays and it worked perfectly. I think Brevin Jordan even commented there were certain formations that we ran where we already knew we were going to be successful, just seeing how the defense lined up against us. So, man, credit goes to Brett Lashley a lot, man. That's a great offensive mind in the game, and he's a University of Miami. He's part of the coaching staff at the University of Miami. So he's one of us this time, and we're not playing against someone, or we're not hearing stories of a Dan Mullen being a great offensive coordinator with Urban Meyer. Like, we finally got one on our side. So it's really nice to have Brett Lashley as your OC. I think it's shown. A lot of people, including myself, were kind of annoyed the game was vanilla first week of the season. Well, I think that completely changed in week 2. I personally wanted to see the tight ends utilized a lot. Brevin Jordan had 7 receptions. That's probably the most in his University of Miami career. Played a great game. So outstanding job. Also, I mean, I'm ecstatic about that. We have a kicker that can literally nail 57-yard field goals. Like, that's not normal. That's not a thing in college football. He's confident. I love it. I love everything about Borregales. So I'm really excited that the kicking game, we've kind of cleared the air on that. That's one issue. Quarterback play, that's another issue we can check off. So Manny Diaz has improved on some issues from the past season. So let's build off of this game, because this was the biggest game in Manny Diaz's coaching career. A lot of people said if we lose to Louisville on the road, season could go downhill from there. Losing to Louisville on the road is kind of like the same storyline as we've seen in the past. Manny Diaz just not getting the guys ready to play. Man, we could have put up 60 points easily if we would have taken care of those missed opportunities, too many drop passes. Let's fix it. Let's move forward. We got Florida State now, and let's take care of business. I don't care how bad Florida State is. You need to win and win big.
I agree, man. I mean, the looking at Florida State lately and looking at the way we've been going, it's kind of the polar opposites. They're going one direction and we're going a different direction, and I'm not mad about it. I'll tell you that. It's nice to see we're making a divide finally.
Now, I don't want to interrupt you, Ross, but I know there's been a lot of speculation about the game cancellation against Florida State. College game day is going to be in Miami. The closer we get to this game, the more likely it's going to happen. I don't think ESPN and College Game Day are just going to completely cancel their logistics and all this setup and money they put in, for this game. It's Miami, Florida State. It's a big game. College Game Day is going to Miami. Be ready. Expect a game this week. Just because Mike Norville is not going to be there, hey, expect a game. They played plenty of times with Odell Haggins, as their interim HC. Kenny Dillingham, he has a ton of experience at Auburn. I think he's going to be the interim head coach against Miami. So just be ready to play, because there will be football.
These guys come to play us hard no matter what. I mean, even we've seen them on bad seasons, and they've come to play us for 4 quarters. I mean, even if the first half's slow, they'll pick it up the second half. First half's hot. Sometimes we come back ourselves the second half. But we see a battle usually. And I feel like, even though we're playing better, I feel like, especially in the first half, maybe they could give us a little more problems than we want to right now. And that was going to be the next thing I was going to get into, is kind of we saw what we saw this game, what do we want to see going forward that the changes where we think that we could actually start getting more points on the board, more consistency and that kind of stuff. Is there anything big, or is there just consistency, keeping it with the run plan, all that kind of stuff? Alex, or 24/7, go ahead, man. What do you think we should be doing going forward?
We should be doing some. Sorry, go ahead.
What do you think we should be doing going forward against FSU? Is there anything like that you saw from the team defensively, offensively, that you'd like to see cleaned up a little bit, or you'd like to see some changes made possibly?
You know what? I think we should just stick to our identity. Obviously, if anybody follows a little bit, at least, of Florida State, we know that they have Marvin Wilson. We've heard about it for so many years, and they have their playmakers on defense. So, in my opinion, their defense is what keeps them in the game. Their problems is their struggles on offense and their offensive line. So if there's something that I want to just see, I want to see us focus in on this game, just limit the penalties, because, emotions are going to be running high. This is a rivalry game. Obviously, it's Florida State. We can't sleep on them just because we're coming off a big win. Don't get caught up in all the hype. I'm saying is basically what I'm asking for. Too many times we've seen us come off a big win and then not perform the very next game. So I just want to see us be focused, not commit stupid penalties, late hit out of bounds and all that stuff. I understand it's Florida State and we want to smack them in the mouth, but let's play a smart game. Let's stick to our identity, run the ball, right down their throats, because I really think that we could do that with Florida State. As far as something different, maybe on our defense, I'm not really scared of the receivers. I'm not scared of Terry. I think he looks slow. I think he's not draftable. But at the same time, let me be humble. I'm going to try to. Okay, I want to see a little bit more aggressiveness on defense when it comes to Florida State. I want to see pressure, pin your ears back, and attack Blackman. Because in my opinion, Blackman gets flustered under pressure, and that offensive line of Florida State is having a lot of issues right now. So I want to attack their weakness, and I want to see them. I want to see us be really aggressive on defense. Bubba Bolden is way too talented for us not to be calling a safety blitz or whatever. And I'm just trying to express that, because I know what was it Daniel right?
Me?
Who is it that said? Yeah, no. Who is it that said something about their safety blitzes?
Oh yeah, me. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, Caleb.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, Caleb. My bad. All right, Caleb. Bubba Bolden is somebody you want to put in a position to make those plays. We could risk over getting beat over the top, because it's just, I trust Bubba Bolden. He's such a great tackler in open space. He's such a playmaker that anything can happen. He could force a fumble. He could force a bad play by Florida State. So it's not that I don't agree with you on not blitzing him. It's just that I think that's a perfect thing to do. When you have such a good athlete, you want to put him in those type of positions. And sorry, I went on a little long there. So go ahead, guys.
It's okay, dude. This is what this is for, man. We want the fans to, actually get a chance to say what they really want to say, and this is what it's all about, man. Anthony, what do you, same question to you, man. What do you see going into FSU? And is there any changes you'd like to see?
Personally, man, I'm going to hop off on what 247 said. I think there's a game we should not underestimate. Florida State is one of those teams that always comes in, and they know when they come into Miami, they're in hostile territory. They know they're going to cut. They need that W. They know they're going to get – it's a fight. It's a dog fight. The last time I went to a Florida State game was 2016. Miami was 10. Florida State was ranked 23 or 24 at the time. We lost by a blocked PAT. So we cannot underestimate Florida State just because Mike Norvell's not going to be there, just because their offensive line is not looking good and they're not making the plays and their offense is looking pretty sorry. That's not a team to underestimate. So I want to see Miami consistent. I want to see Miami in there, not losing focus, not looking past ahead of Florida State at all. I don't think that's a thing we should even look past. Don't even think about Clemson. Forget Clemson right now. It's Florida State week, rivalry week, and then we play Clemson right after. But until then, we play Florida State. Honestly, I want to see our receivers make plays, man. I don't want to see no more drop passes. No reason why our veteran receivers should be dropping these passes. Mike Hartley had an easy touchdown in the Louisville game, and he dropped it. That could have easily been a 52-point game, a 55-point game. Right? If not, he had not dropped it. Mark Pope needs to make plays. These guys are veterans. I need our veterans to step up. Our receivers, this is your time to step up and make these big plays. That's why you're here. Also, make our receivers make plays. I want to stay consistent with the running game. I like how the way our offense is doing, and I gotta agree with 247 on the penalties, man. Penalties killed us in this game. Had we not given up too many penalties on so many 80 yards of penalties, they probably would have never got that touchdown. We probably would have stopped them, but we made too many simple mistakes. We can't make those mistakes against Florida State. If Florida State, if we make those mistakes, Florida State's going to capitalize, and they're going to come back and make points, take points off the board. That's not a team to underestimate. I want to see our defensive line run through this offensive line. This O-line is not good. I've seen them play against Georgia Tech. They look terrible. They had a lot of second strings in there. The O-line was rotating all over the place. They don't know what to do. Our defensive line I want Blackman to be sacked. I need our defensive line to get in Blackman's face and disrupt the offense all the time. Other than that, let's stay consistent with the offense. I like the way our offense is looking, and then take it from there.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Caleb, same thing for you, man. What do you want to see with FSU, and is there any changes that you want to see going forward?
Well, on offense, I'm going to be honest. As a wise man once said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is, a run-first offense. The run sets up the pass. And I think, honestly, I'm going to be real with you. I just don't think Florida State's that good. And I think, these guys, they've seen that Florida State, they used to try and, bully us for a minute. They were on that 7-game win streak against us. Florida State thought they owned us. They thought the streak was never going to end. Well, let me tell you, now we on our own streak. And I really hope that these guys take it personal and say, yo, let's run it up on these bums. Because that's what they are, straight up. They're not that talented. They're undisciplined. Their offensive line looks like some line you would find at Calle Ocho. You'd be like, oye, socio, ven aquí, you know how to play football? There you go. They pick up some random bum off the street. Let me tell you, I'm predicting at least 5 sacks, give or take 12 tackles for loss. I think is going to be a dominant performance. I'm not even sweating it, to be honest with you, because I think these boys are going to be ready, and they want to embarrass these guys. So, honestly, on offense, I'm not really worried about much. And, look, when it comes to the penalties, I think that's more on the defensive side of the ball. We had quite a few dumb penalties against Louisville. And on offense, I'm going to be honest, there were a few ticky-tacky calls they called on the offensive line. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, but in the first quarter, Mallory had like a 80-yard catch and run that should have been straight because it wasn't no false start on skate. So I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm not sweating on offense, and on defense, I'm already expecting a great performance. So, just strap it up and get ready to ball, because I think that's what we're going to do.
Sounds good, man. Paul, is there anything you want to add to this stuff, man?
I don't know why I have a gut feeling like Miami's going to run up the score against Florida State. Manny's kind of give like an introduction to the new staff. I know Mike Norvell's not going to be there, but like, hey, welcome to the rivalry kind of thing. Miami is going to step on the gas pedal. They're not going to let up. Florida State right now is a broken program, as we've seen this offseason. We've seen week 1. Georgia Tech, they're not a bad football team. They're not a good football team. I think they're a football team that's trying to develop into a good program, and they will. They have pretty solid true freshman with Jeff Sims. But, Florida State is flat, man. James Blackman's not getting the job done. Their offensive line is horrible. Marvin Wilson is completely overrated at defensive tackle. Their D-line is awful. Last year, we held down their defensive line unit easily, and we had an awful offensive line in general this past season. So things are not getting better at Florida State. Miami should win easily by 20, like just easily. 27-7 is what I got. But I wouldn't be surprised if Miami runs up the score. If it's a close game where Miami wins 27-17 and Florida State's in the ballgame the whole time, like, I'll take the win, but that's a bad win, in my opinion. Florida State should not be competing with Miami. And De'Aaron King should be running left and right.
Yeah, I've watched enough of Florida State this year to know that, I'm not that worried. I like to be a little on my toes on a rivalry game, of course, at all times, but that is a very incomplete football team. And a couple of people even talked about, just their discipline. The lack of discipline in the trenches on both sides I've seen, even though their D-line is kind of their bread and butter, I've seen issues on that side as well. So, it's just a very incomplete football team while we're starting to get to the point where we're kind of rounding our team out a little more finally. We're developing depth at certain areas and stuff like that. To see Mallory come out and get that big play, even though it was called back, we know Mallory is capable of that as a number 2 tight end now. We're getting this depth at defensive ends. Seeing Cam Williams get a chance to come out there and make some plays. That was awesome to see him on the defensive end. Or not Cam Williams. Is it Cam Williams?
Cam Williams.
Yep.
Both.
Yeah. He looked great, man. He looked awesome. Seeing him, another guy that I noticed that people haven't said a lot about yet that stood out to me was Harrison Hunt. He's getting in there and making some plays.
I think it's to our advantage as well. I mean, Florida State is coming off of a bye week. They haven't played. They've only played one game. Miami's played 2 straight games. They're in a rhythm right now. They have an offensive identity. Right now, Florida State doesn't even know who their starting quarterback is. Is it going to be Jordan Travis? Is it going to be James Blackman? They have their interim HC at the moment. It's probably going to be the first time he's ever been a head coach in a football game in the ACC or in college football in general. I mean, the guy's probably shaking in his pants right now. Miami should win by 40. I mean, let's be real, guys. Like, it really shouldn't be a close game at all.
Is there anything else anybody wants to add to the FSU talk here?
I mean, one thing for me is what I really don't want to see is I don't want to see, I don't feel like they should be on the same field as us. Like we have to go out there and want to, put our foot on their throat and, just end it quickly. Because the one thing that can happen is that, look, any team could get beaten on any single day. And if we come out there lackadaisical, and try and play around with them, you never know what can happen, to be honest with you. I mean, look, we're the more talented team. We got the better, coaching staff. It's all there. But the thing is, if we don't come out with energy, which sometimes happens, look, the FSU game last year, you saw the first half, we were kind of, going through the motions, and it was close. And then in the second half, we pulled away. But honestly, if we do that this year, I'm going to be really disappointed because they're not as good as they were last year, and they were pretty bad last year. So, honestly, I'm just hoping that everyone comes out ready to play and, honestly, end them early. I'm expecting, something like at least 24 points in the first quarter.
Absolutely. Not the first. I think 24 at the halftime. I think 24 at halftime. That's a lot of points in a quarter. I'll take 17 in a quarter, but 24, that's a lot. That's a lot of turnovers that need to play with time of possession with drives.
And I gotta hop on with Clay. I gotta agree with what Caleb said on this one. I don't want to be in the fourth quarter, and I don't want us to be 20-19. Because if I see that we're 20-19, I'm gonna say, man, what is going on? This is not the team that we want to see. We shouldn't be that. Like in 2018, FSU was crap. They sucked. It was Willie Taggart's first year. We were ranked, I think, number 15 at the 16 at the time. We were losing that game 27-7. Yeah, we rallied and came back and we won the game, but there's no reason why we should have been down that much. We should have been losing that much, especially that crap Florida State team. So there's no reason why this year, with the explosive offense that we have, with the defensive line that we have, there's no reason why this year we should be close with Florida State. They shouldn't even be on. They're not even on our level. And with Caleb, Caleb, you brought up a good point. I'm glad you brought this up. 7 straight years we've lost this team in the Jimbo Fisher era. Miami should have that in the back of their mind and say, man, we're in a streak right now. They come into our house. Let's stump them in the streak. Let's stump them in their mouth, and let's win this game convincingly. I don't want to see 21-20, 23-20. I want to see Miami 35 or 38 and Florida State 7. That's it.
Beautiful. It's kind of crazy. Does it hit anyone that we're number 12 in the nation right now?
I mean,
there's only 50 teams playing, but I mean, you better. I mean, I'll take it while we got it.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I kind of think they have us at that ranking because they kind of want to bump up the Clemson game a little bit.
Right.
Because if we take care of business the way we should this week, I would not be surprised if they have us at like 9 or 10 going into that Clemson game, and they're going to hype it up like as, the first top 10 matchup of the year. When, if we being real about it, that's a little played out. But you know how people want to do for ratings and stuff.
So, I hate to think ahead, but are you guys comfortable thinking about Clemson right now? Is anyone comfortable, confident, or is everyone just on edge still?
I'm focused one week at a time, man. Florida State. We cannot overlook them. I'm not confident enough right now because it's just I know a lot of people are not worried. I know you guys, how you feel. I heard what you said. But I just think we cannot look ahead of Florida State. No matter how many problems Florida State has, Florida State still has talent on that other side. More talent, I would say, than Louisville does. Okay, whether you look at it offensively or defensively, I look at it combined. They're still a threat, with the motions running high. It'll just take 2 or 3 mistakes on our end, a muff punt by somebody. I'm sorry, not a muff punt, a muff kick, an interception, costly mistake that causes them to score, anything to throw it off. So I'm just trying to focus on Florida State. I mean, you could talk about Clemson all day long, and that's we're probably gonna have 3 straight college game day appearances. The one in Louisville, the one in Florida State here, and then the one in Clemson. That's probably what it's gonna be. But I just want this team to stay focused on Florida State, and when Clemson gets here, we'll worry about Clemson. But I'm not ready right now because I don't think we're until we don't beat Florida State, I don't want to hear the word Clemson.
Right.
That's just my take.
Right.
I still
Yeah,
gotta
man.
see I don't want to see us lose to bad teams still. I mean, we're 2 games in. I mean, yeah, we look good, but I mean, God, it's just we've had that issue for so long now. I'm always on edge still, even though I feel good about going into Florida State, I'm still on edge just because we have these tendencies. And even though it's going good, can it backfire all of a sudden? I mean, I don't want to see it happen.
Yeah, man. I agree, bro. I don't think we should be looking over. I think we should take it week by week, and fresh. You're right. Look what happened last year. We're on a roll, 3-game win streak. We're winning. Jaron Williams having Heisman numbers in that Louisville game. Next thing you know, we lose to FIU, we lose to Duke, we lose to Louisiana Tech. It's like, we got to keep that momentum, man. Forget about Clemson. I don't think they should be thinking about Clemson. It's what ESPN, Kirk Herbstreit, that's what they're all saying. These players got to get off social media and don't think about Clemson. Think about Florida State. Week by week, take it week by week, and then you'll go from there. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna make that Clemson game. They're probably gonna hype it up. I wouldn't doubt it because it's number 12 going into number 10. They'll probably be number 10 or who knows, number 9, and then the Clemson will still be number 1. So they'll probably hype it up for that game. But right now, man, we just got to worry on Florida State. Nobody else.
Well, the good thing is, we actually have a leader, a veteran quarterback at, under center. Like Jaron Williams was a redshirt freshman, I mean, underclassmen. Like you're not going to go to those guys as your captains, your leaders on a football team. That's very few instances that we see, like a Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence, that we're seeing that now. But, the good thing is we have a guy who's been in college football. He's mature. We see it when he's throwing the football. He's not making bad decisions. He's not going to turn the ball over. So, hey, I'm not worried at all, with us losing 2 bad teams. De'Ara King is our leader. So I think we'll be fine.
Honestly, I'm going to piggyback off what Paul said. And I agree with y'all. I don't think we should look ahead. And I don't think the team will. I think they're going to live in the moment. They're excited because it's FSU week. And, that brings out, I feel like that brings out the best in everybody. Everybody wants to, beat these guys up. And honestly speaking, I think, they know the moment at hand. And they know, look, if we do what we do, they're not going to be on the same field with us. We're going to mob these guys up, and then it's going to be ready to play the big boys. And, I mean, I'm not going to look ahead to Clemson, but, I mean, I honestly feel like that game is going to be the biggest game that we've had since the ACC title against them a few years ago. And the reason why I say that is because nobody, absolutely no fans, no analysts, nobody's going to think that that's going to be a game. And I feel like that if we can, take in the moment at hand and take care of business this week, I think that the guys are going to be like, hey, you know what? It's us against the world. And that's how it always is at the University of Miami. Nobody wants to see us win. Nobody wants to see, positive things for us. So if we can take in the moment, I think that, that is going to be, a huge game and a landmark game, not only for Manny, but for the university as a whole, because that's the type of game that could put you back on the map.
Let's say we come out and we absolutely spank Florida State for 4. I mean, this is hypothetical, but we absolutely spank Florida State for 4 quarters. I mean, we run up a 50 burger on them, and they're looking at less than 20 points on us, even at our backups at the end of the game. So does that give you a little more confidence going into Clemson, or is it still just, wait and see?
Offensively, it would give me confidence. It's the defensive part that scares the living hell out of me. We just gave up over 300 yards in passing to Cunningham, 146 yards on the run. That's nearly 500 total yards of offense. Louisville has a good offense, hands down. They have a very good offense. But now we're dealing with the big boys, the future NFL stars, the Trevor Lawrences, Travis Etienne's, the Frank Latsons. This is another level. This is the elite of the Power 5 level. This is a program evaluator where you stand as a program. The Louisville fans, after Miami spanked them, they said we cannot show. This was an evaluation on the program. We're not there yet on the big stage. Okay, so going up against Clemson is going to tell you a lot about our program moving forward. A lot, and it may. Hey, if our secondary doesn't show up, I'm just saying, man. Maybe someone will get evaluated. I don't know. Maybe assistant coaches will get reevaluated. We'll find out. But hey, we'll see what happens. Death Valley is filling up their stadium, by the way. There's a lot of people in that stadium.
I didn't know they were filling it up.
They are filling it up, man. It's half of the stadium.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's half. Wow, I thought it was only going to be like 20K or something like that. That's crazy.
They're filling it up.
Wow.
That is crazy, actually. That's pretty crazy. They're filling it up. They're not letting them. They're going all in. They're going all in.
Man.
So that Miami game is
money
going
maker for them.
Yeah.
These small towns, that's all they got is football. Do you take away football?
Yeah.
In Clemson?
There's still money to be made off beating Miami when the spotlight's on them. I mean, it's just the way it is. We still, even after mediocre seasons, we're still a draw for a lot of teams. I mean, to beat Miami, it's to beat Miami.
Right. Kind of like UCLA basketball,
Yeah.
Right. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure, we all want to see that game, Clemson, versus Miami. We want that to be the turning point for this program. Obviously, I know that. But at the end of the day, what really matters is us getting over Florida State right now, because it's just, if the players don't come out ready, they're going to hear it from Ed Reed, because this dude is on the sideline, and this dude is serious. This is the biggest game for Miami every year, no matter who sucks. It's the biggest game of the year. You have to beat Florida State. You could go 0-11, and then that final game for Florida State, what matters is you beat Florida State. I mean, we cannot come out flat. Everybody just wants to see us roll through Florida State, put them in, in our rearview mirror. And that's what I want to see. I mean, it's just Clemson is so deep in their rosters, and we haven't gotten to that level of depth. So that's why I just want to look at Florida State right now, see where it's at, because Florida State's going to tell me more right now, I believe, than me overlooking Florida State and looking at Clemson, because then I'm going to start, I'll learn more from our team this game than I will just projecting if we're going to beat Clemson or not.
But listen, let's be real, guys. Like, if Florida State is in a dogfight with Miami going into the fourth quarter, or if they beat Miami, let's say, we just lost to a program that had their best playmaker transfer out in DJ Matthews. Lost another player in Jamarcus Chapman. Their head coach wasn't even coaching. Then Miami freaking sucks if they lose to Florida State. I mean, let's be real, guys. You don't have a head coach. You lose your best playmaker. Everybody and their mom's transferring them from the program. This whole offseason's been a shit show. They don't even have a quarterback. They have Jordan Travis, Travis J, whatever his name is, under center. James Blackman, who's your veteran, he's not getting it done. He hasn't developed in his past 4 years there. I mean, it's burning down the program. The program is done at Florida State this year. This is the definition of rebuild. If Miami loses to Florida State, we effing suck then. Like, the program is as is the dead pulse. It's flat right now. Like, I don't see Miami losing this game against Florida State. I'm very confident.
I don't see us losing either, but it's just. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I get the Florida State thing. You know, you got to get up for the game, but like, this program is really in denial right now. Florida State is not in a good position. Even their head coach isn't coaching this week. How can we lose this game? I'm just going to be in shock that we do.
Yeah, I agree with you, Paul. I mean, everything is in Miami's favor at this point. You got Norvell's out. You got some of your players are transferring. Blackman sucks. Miami.
He doesn't have an
Miami just can't lose this game. If Miami does lose this game, what's that gonna say for Manny Diaz? People are gonna be like, Manny, people are gonna. You can't lose to Florida State, and Ed Reed is gonna be there, and everybody knows that famous speech of Miami and of Ed Reed. That was an FSU game at their house, and he did not want them to score. There's no reason we should lose this game. Everything's in our favor. Their coach is not gonna be there. They're gonna have a different another head coach, another guy head coaching who's never been a head coach. Their players are not into the program. They have no offensive line, and their quarterback can't make plays. So we should not lose this game. This game should be
64-0.
Miami should be running this. Yeah.
I mean,
I agree, and I'm not saying we're gonna lose. I'm just saying we can't overlook them whatsoever. We have to put down on the gas pedal and do just like you said, just run up the score on them, embarrass the crap out of them because of all the crap that they always talk about us. I understand all that. I just don't want to overlook Florida State whatsoever. Just what I want is a laser focus.
Right.
Just steamroll them. I'm not as worried as as I sound. It's just that I'm so scared of overlooking them because of all the crap that's been going on in Florida State. I mean, I don't know if you've heard the rumors, but I've heard rumors of Chief Osceola hitting the transfer portal. So just to lighten up the mood a little bit.
Bobby
just to lighten up the mood a little bit.
Bobby Bowden was throwing up for you this offseason, man. People are jumping ship. People are jumping ship in Tallahassee, man.
I got a question for you guys.
I don't blame you.
With this FSU game, we think we're going to handle it pretty well and stuff. So what do we do in this game to prepare our secondary for the next game? What do we do to get better against FSU to get prepared for the big bad boys at Clemson?
I mean, for me, I think we should it's a few things. Well, on the defensive line, I want to see more snaps. I mean, we've been giving snaps, to Cam and to Harvey, but I feel like, look, if this game is a runaway, blowout the way I think it's going to be, I want to see a lot of Harvey out there. I want to see some Chance Williams. I don't think we've really seen him that much. I want to see more Harrison Hunt. I mean, to be honest with me, I feel like he's been the second best defensive tackle next to Nesta. I think Nesta's been the best, and I think Harrison Hunt's been number 2. And that's a little disappointing because I had a lot of high expectations for John Ford the past couple of years, but he hasn't really, done much about it. So I think, I want to see a lot of rotation, getting the young guys in on the defensive line. I want to see Sam Brooks play more. I mean, I know he's been playing a lot, but honestly, I feel like, our best 2 linebackers on the field at the same time is probably McLeod and Brooks. I want to see some Avery Huff. I mean, I know he's only been on special teams, but I feel like, we should, get him in at striker, get him in at linebacker. I mean, he's been looking good on special teams. Like, I mean, I know that's not saying much, but you could definitely see the speed there. I mean, hell, let's throw in Marcus Clark a little bit at corner. I saw we were able to get Dunson in a little bit at the end of the Louisville game, and they were throwing to his side. So you know what? You got to get these guys some experience because you never know what can happen for Clemson. What if Blades go down? What if Jennings go down? What if, any other player on the defensive line goes down? We got to get these guys prepared because, you never know what can happen. And injuries, Corona, you just got to make sure that you got these guys prepared. And that's really how I feel about it. On the offensive side of things, I mean, I would love to see the young receivers get some shine, but that's basically it. I really can't complain else on offense.
With the secondary, though, I mean, we saw Cade Cunningham look like a capable quarterback. What are we going to – I mean, is it going to be more important to let these top guys just get snap after snap so they're prepared, or do we get our depth going a little more so we have a type of rotation to come at, Clemson? Because if we say we get up big against FSU, that's our chance to get our depth in more. Is that something that we focus on, or do we let our starters play a little longer so they're just, getting more snaps and hopefully getting more prepared?
To beat Clemson, I'm sorry, I'll try to make it as quick as possible. To beat Clemson, okay, and to set it up for Clemson, we're going to have to add wrinkles to our defense, mix up a bunch of coverages, mix up a bunch of blitz packages, and everything to confuse Trevor Lawrence. Maybe give him a look that he's seen on film, us do a lot, like maybe one of those stunts where we rush our 4 linemen. Instead of rushing 4 linemen, take rush 3, show the blitz, but don't then drop people in coverage. There's a lot of things that we could do. But if we're just talking about Clemson has so many threats on offense. And, the only way I think that we can feasibly, really affect their offense is if we rattle Trevor Lawrence. Because Trevor Lawrence makes mistakes. He's not perfect. Yeah, he's an NFL quarterback, but he makes mistakes. So I think we need to mix up coverages, be very strategic on our secondary, on who we blitz, who we don't blitz. And in Florida State, just to throw you a little bit about Florida State at the same time, people are going to call me crazy, but I want to see a lot of cover one. I just want to see one high safety because I think we're that talented just to just pin your earbacks, attack, and make sure Blackman doesn't have any type of success.
Paul, what for the secondary, is there anything you can see that would help us get a little more prepared, that we can try against Florida State? I mean, we gave up too much space no matter what. That whole game, in my opinion, we gave up too much space.
Yeah, I feel like we play a lot of zone, man. I don't know why. I feel like we should have played man. Using Louisville with their speed, they do very well against the zone defense. I don't know why we do that. Like I said, Matt, believe it or not, at times we actually changed to a 4-3 defense. That was pointed out by Wholesome and Holloway. We actually did change to that. So I think Manny Diaz, he's taking over in a sense, kind of defensive play call. They're kind of sharing it. If that, he has an input in the defensive play call. So, which is nice to see. But just more man-to-man, Bubba Bolden in that 2-2 Atwell matchup, that was a mismatch. I think everyone acknowledged that as well. I don't know what was the genesis behind that.
Desperation, maybe?
Yeah.
I spoke about it.
You did?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always active in everybody's in Coop's channel. I kept on saying they're going to place Bubba Bolden on 2-2 Atwell. 2-2 Atwell killed us last year.
Love it.
And that's exactly what they should do, and they made the adjustment. Perfect.
Hey, I got a small question here, man, and this is me watching the game. Did Gervin Hall, did he get injured? Because, man, I did not see him. Maybe it's me. I don't know. I did not see him in that second half almost at all.
I mean,
I was trying to look for him. Where's Gervin?
Yeah,
I know he was out.
I remember he got nicked up towards the end of the second quarter. And I think he got in a couple snaps in the third, but he didn't play that much in the second half. I think that's definitely something worth monitoring.
Harris as well.
Yeah, but I think Cam is okay. I think they said in the post game interview he said he was all right. So I'm not really worried about that. I mean, everybody was having a heart attack the week before, when he went down. So I think he'll be okay. Honestly, though, I really think that we should play a lot more press man because I think that's probably the better way to go. I mean, if you look at what Ohio State – I know Ohio State is Ohio State, but if you saw what they did last year against Clemson's receivers, they kind of, locked them up for the most part. And what were they playing? They were playing press man. And, I mean, obviously we don't have the same type of corners, But these Clemson receivers are finesse guys. You get your hands on them, you rough them up a little bit, and they're going to start thinking twice. So I think we should definitely roll with that a little bit more this week.
Am I the only one? Maybe I'm being a little critical here. That 3 running back rotation. I feel like I would rather see Cam Harris get the majority of the snaps than just have a second running back. I'm not really a fan of the 3 running back rotation. You know, I'm more of like the hot hand. Like if they can't take down Cam Harris, man, like, you know, keep feeding him the football until they can stop him.
I like to feed Harris. I'm the same way. Ride the hot hand type of thing. I mean, there's always going to be especially in the Lashley offense. There's always going to be opportunities for different types of backs to get snaps in different ways. So I mean, these guys are always going to get their various snaps. But I mean, yeah, if Cam's going off, let him just get the rock as much as absolutely possible, in my opinion.
I like it. I mean, I like the 3-back system. Let me just explain to you why real quick. It's a system where Cam Harris comes out. You got to remember, we play up tempo, so there's a lot of plays.
Right.
So the distribution of that lowers the risk of injury. By the way Manny Diaz thinks, and I'm pretty sure Rhett Lashley has that as well, that lowers the risk of injury because you're out there so many plays. You know, Cam Harris could go down because if we see him get nicked up, then we're down Cam Harris. But if we distribute the ball, you know, to Cam, to Jalen Knighton, we always have somebody that's fresh legs, just waiting to, you know, capitalize on each opportunity they get, because it's just, if you ride the hot hand, yeah, of course, but that new fresh set of legs is out there. He wants to take that opportunity and shine like Jalen Knighton. You know, there was a pass to Don Chaney Jr. where he was kind of like he didn't find the ball when the Eric King threw like a streak to him. You know, that he had fresh legs. So, you know, I'm a big fan of that.
I honestly think that was and just to reply to you on this one, I think that was a miscommunication there with Don Chaney, man. Because when I looked at that play, I'm like, man, he looks lost. He looks like, I don't think he think the ball was gonna come to him, because he kept running and he slowed down a little. I think right there was a miscommunication. I mean, that's my opinion. Other than that, I'm gonna agree with you, man. I like the rotation, because it's true. Injury is a big factor in this with this up-tempo offense. The last thing I want to see was Harris go down with a severe leg injury, and we're like, oh great, now our number 1 back is down. Now we have to rely on these freshmen. No, let's rotate it. We have the talent now. We have this up-tempo offense. Let's rotate our guys. Let's give our guys, you know, the room to make plays. All right, Harris makes a play. All right, who's next? Knighton, you're next. Make a big play for us. All right, we're gonna go back to Chaney. All right, go back to switch it up. Don't get me wrong. If Harris has the hot hands, obviously I want to see him keep taking the ball. But watching the talent that we have now on our running back room, that depth that we have, I love seeing that rotating all 3 of them. And if it helps, especially with injury, because injury will be a big factor if that does happen. But I think this is a good way to prevent injuries from happening, at least for Cam Harris and the other running backs.
Has anybody ever actually done the math on that? I mean, I'm just curious to see if that actually is a true thing, to where spreading it out actually does prevent injuries. Because, I mean, I know it's something that happens more in football, but we still see a ton of injuries. I mean, is it a big enough thing to take the ball out of a guy who's perhaps, you know, maybe having a career type game or something like that? Is that enough to take the ball out of his hands if you're in a close game, just to get for the sake of a rotation, you know?
I mean, there's multiple ways that you could say, you know, there's positives, there's pros and cons to everything. Obviously, you weigh them, and whichever weighs more, you go with. So I think it's just, if you give the ball and take it away from Cam Harris, let's say, and you distribute it to Jalen Knighton, I haven't done the math, but obviously it would make sense that if Cam Harris goes pro next year, you know, look at all the valuable snaps that we gave Knighton and Chaney and all these running backs. It also, you know, gives the opportunity for recruits to see, hey, you know, everybody's eating in that offense. I could come eat too next season. So there's so many positives that can come from that. So I'll spin it that way instead of like giving you the math and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure there's some statistic out there that will say that.
Well, like I was saying with Lashley, with this offense, I mean, no matter what you're going to have multiple running backs eat. So that's going to be something that's just, I mean, it sucks that we only have a handful because we really can't afford an injury right now. That's for damn sure. But I think at all times, someone's at least going to get to eat a little bit, I would think, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Honestly, when it comes to my opinion on whether we should give the lion's share to Cam or keep with the three-headed monster, what we've been doing, I mean, it's tough because I think Cam has been doing great. And even though he's gotten nicked up a few times, he's the type of guy I think you can have as a bell cow. Like, I'm going to be honest, I would feel 100% confident, giving Cam 25, 27 carries a game. Because honestly, I'm not worried that he's going to fumble, and I think that he gets better as the game goes on. But I do agree that keeping a rotation is good. I'm going to be honest, in a perfect world, we would not have to depend so much on Cam. But honestly, maybe it's just me, but I feel like Chaney, he didn't really play that well against Louisville. I mean, he got maybe 6 or 7 rushes. I think maybe he got like 2 or 3 yards, And on that one play where he went deep, and if he would have actually looked for the ball, that would have been a touchdown because he had his man beat. Like, that would have been a dot. I think what we really should do is get Cam probably like 18 to 20 carries. You give Jalen about 10 to 11. And maybe if you want, you'll give Chaney 4 to 5. But I really feel like we should be more of a 2-back system with Cam and Jalen Knight.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. We got 5 minutes left, guys. I want to hear everyone's score prediction. Miami, Florida State. College game day is going to be in Miami. They're never in Miami. The last time they were there, Miami whooped Notre Dame's 27-3. Oh, no, what was the final score? 41-3. Sorry, I was thinking of the halftime score. So what do you guys think, man? Give me your score predictions. 247 Canes. What you got?
Okay, come back to me real quick. Hold on. I'm doing something real quick.
All right. Caleb, what's your score prediction?
Well, I've been quite confident saying that this game isn't going to be close. So I'm going to say around the realm of 56 to 17. 56-17. I'm going to go with that.
Love it. Damn, 56 points. I mean, we could have easily put up 56 against Louisville. So, hey, it's very possible. Anthony, what do you think?
I'm gonna go ahead and give Miami 47, Florida State 10. I don't see them making. I don't see them making more than that. Or I don't even see them trying to at least making 17 points. I say Miami runs it up, 47-10. Fourth quarter, Miami wins the game. We're up, and the streak goes from not only 3, we go to 4 wins in a row.
Ross?
I'm going to go with Miami. Miami 42, Florida State 17, and only 17 because they get a garbage time touchdown.
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. Yeah, no, I keep battling between. It's just giving up one touchdown for me for Florida, like Miami giving up 1 touchdown is kind of hard. I'll say Florida State gets like 10 in the first half, and then they don't score the entire second half. So I'm going to say Miami 41, Florida State 10. It should be a blowout, hands down. 247 Canes, what do you got, man?
I'm gonna say 33-17.
Wow.
Miami, of course.
16 points. That's a bad
Yep.
win, in my opinion, if Miami only beats Florida State by 16 points, in my opinion. That's a bad football team.
I agree with you. I'm going to be pissed if it's less than 24 points, to be honest.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. All I care is about the victory. I'd rather have the victory. Not worry about the way we won. If we won ugly, we won pretty. All I care about is the win because that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Beautiful words, man. Those are words that you should just you quote. Maybe on Hurricane Subtle we can get that live, huh?
No, I spoke to you about it. Yep. I'll try to get up as soon as possible, but I want it to be perfect. I already told you.
That's right. And that's what we want is perfection. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight's episode. It was a late episode. We covered a lot, and I hope you guys had a good time as well. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Always.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yes, peace.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
God bless.
State.
Let's go.